Hello, hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be going over the basic trainers and where to find all of them so you can learn all of the classes. Alright, so under all our skills we have several classes here. The only one you can't take at the beginning is a paleontologist, so whichever classes you haven't chosen, you can still go in and get them by finding the basic trainer, and you'll be able to put points into them. Now, of course, there aren't enough points in the game to max out every single skill tree, so you'll still have to decide which ones you want to go down. But the good news is you can respec your skill tree every 48 hours. You can try all kinds of stuff. So it's worth unlocking everything and just testing it all out, rather than having to make new characters over and over again, right? And hopefully no one chose Soldier as their first class. So we'll go ahead and show you where to find the Soldier, because this is going to be one of the first trainers you can run into. So at Griffin's trade post here, I'll show you on the map. In Haga Basin South, right, there's a trade post called Griffin's Reach. See, Griffin's Reach trade post. It's right here. There are no coordinates, but it's not quite center, but almost center of the place. Just to the west of it's not a lot left in the basin for it to do. But most of the stuff you're going to be doing in the basin's on the east side of the trade post. So you can see here's the crashed spaceship. If you found that, you know to travel west. Right, so I'll zoom way out just to give you an idea on where everything is at. So our first trainer is going to be here. Our second trainer is going to be here. All right, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. All right, so for the soldier training, you're going to have to go up into the outpost here. And this guy here, all right, you'll talk to him, and he'll give you the quest. Right, so you'll go through the quest choices with him and talk to him. And then he's just going to send you out to kill a few guys and then come back. It's a pretty simple, basic quest. So we're not going to go too far into it, and you'll get the access to the trooper skills. All right, so he'll send you... So he's going to send you out west. You're going to go past this, and you'll head over into this area here. Your first one will be, I think, in Kazakhstan. And then you got to come over to Shamal Tunnel and kill some people. I'm trying to remember if there's one more guy. If there is, it's probably in Edgeway Cavern. But yeah, this area right here is where we'll be at. So this is a lot easier to do once you have your speeder bike. And to get your speeder bike, of course, you get the parts from the Imperial Testing Station number 2, which is where we're going to head for the next basic trainer. Alright, so once you're on top of the testing station, right, you come up top. There's a path you can take a speeder bike or run up through and get up here around in this area. Or you can just jump and climb up the walls. However you want to get on top, it's up to you. And then once you're on top, you find this area here. It looks like kind of a raider camp area. You'll go up and you'll find this cave with these little things leading you in here, and you'll go and talk to the planetologist. All right, and this is the planetologist. What he looks like, so you don't come up here shooting him. I don't think it hurts anything, but just so you know. And he'll give you a quest to take you into the testing station. Now, if you've already been in the testing station to try and get parts for your speeder bike or whatever, you may already have the object that he wants, and you can just give it to him, and then you're done. All right, and that's it. That's all there is for this class to unlock it. Talk to him, he sends you down in there, you grab the box, you come back out, and you give it to him. These are the two classes you can grab right off the bat because they are both in the starting area. Now the rest of the classes are going to be in the more advanced areas. So the next class you can get access to is going to be the Mentat class. Alright, and you're going to find that it's going to be in this base over here on the Rift Watch. When I say over here, the far east side, on the far east side over here in the second area. So this is Haga Rift. And this is Eastern Vermilia's Gap, and then down below us is going to be the Haga Basin South. So when crossing over to here, you need to watch out for these slashed lines, which means this means quicksand. And these circles here, I believe, are drum sand, so you got to watch out for those as well. So you go to Rift Watch, which is a base. All right, you just run up here. It's kind of what it looks like. There's a pathway up that you can use your speeder bike on. All right, and you can make your way up here. Alright, this is what it looks like, see when you know you found it. And it's pretty simple, you just walk up and talk to the Mentat trainer, which is right here next to their bounty board, right? I call it a bounty contract board. It's contracts in this, but yeah. This is where this is the Mentat trainer here. Alright, and you simply accept the quest from the Mentat trainer. And then if you don't know how to track quests, I'll go ahead and show you that real quick just to be safe, right? Go into Journey. Then you just come over from, this is story, where it'll start you at. Come over to contracts, and then find the one that it's called. So this one that we're working on now is called First Blood. So it's down here, Mentat Basics. Yeah, so Mentat Basics First Blood. Right, and we're going to walk through learning how to be an assassin. We got to go collect plant fiber and iron ore and bring it back, and then they'll make poison, and then we'll go poison some people. The thing is, you might want to bring the iron ore and the plant fiber before you come over here, because it's not iron ore is generally not close to this location. The good news is you can find iron ore usually in this area right in here, where the Anvil trade post is at, which is just across. It'll take no time at all on a speeder bike to get from here to there. So once you deliver materials, you get a poison, and you're given the quest to go poison. You need to come to the west, right, straight over here behind the anvil here. So you know the big hammer. Sorry, I shouldn't say the anvil because that's an actual place. The big hammer rock, just behind it is First Blood. So we got to go there and plant the poison. All right, and so to give you an idea where this location is, it's going to be at the bottom level, right? So you don't want to be up top near the actual hammer. You want to be down at the bottom level. You can come in this way from the east here. You come up through under this, and it's going to be in this camp here. There, however you say that. So we'll go in, and over to our right here will be these two big blue flags, and this is where we got to go in and to assassinate some people. These guys are about as tough as everything else in the region, right? So if you have that dagger you can get from the beginning area, you should be fine. The one that does 10 damage and drains blood. I'm not good with names. Alright, and in the first room you go into, there will be a blue identification band you can just pick up. It's right here. It's in the first room, right? It's real easy. Alright, with the blue wristband we can go into this room here. And on the left side we have this little device here. Right, you can interact with it now. And we put the poison there, and we're done. So you can continue clearing out this area and getting your loot that you'll need for crafting stuff. So you can get some decent loot out of this cave as well, so don't miss out on that. Alright, and then once you report back, you pretty much unlock the Mentat skill tree. Alright, so here we are. We have the Mentat unlocked, so now we do Poison Capsule, the Sentinel, and Shield Wall, and of course we can continue going from there and on up. Of course, just the same thing as everything, we'll need to find the advanced trainer to be able to put more points into each one and to be able to unlock the ultimate. And Hunter Seeker is a really amazing ultimate. It does a ton of damage when you hit somebody with it. 1200 damage when you hit someone. This thing's like an instant kill, alright? Right, and the last two trainers are going to be much further into the game. For the basic trainers, are going to be in a very dangerous kind of a region. And they're in one of the last... they're going to be in the aluminum region up to the north, so we'll get there and I'll show you where the location is. Alright, so this base is going to be where our next trainer is located. Now, to access this base from a speeder bike or on foot, you've got to come up through the desert, and then you can, on the east side, you can come around here, and you can work your way up over to that building there, and then up around through this trail. Alright, and that's how you get here. You can come up from the west side, way over there, and do the same thing and make your way around this mountain and come right up here. Of course, you can always climb, and if you get a helicopter, you can always fly. So the location we are at, right, this is Helios Gate. We're way up in the north now, alright, above. So this is Western Vermilius Gap, right, just north of there. We're in Eastern Shield Wall. Very edge of it, along the edge of a Jabal Ifrit Al Gharb, or however you say that. I'm terrible at pronunciations, alright? Seen any of my other videos, you know that. I mess up pronunciations all the time. Even in Ark with dinosaurs and stuff. So, yeah. Alright, so let's run inside and show you where the trainer is. Alright, this is going to be the Bene Gesserit trainer. Right, so the Bene Gesserit and the Sword Master are the hardest trainers to find for the basic one, so this is probably recommended to start with one of those classes when you first start out, because you can grab all the other ones pretty quickly. Alright, so as we come up the stairs, you can see the bounty board on the right. On the left side, near the taxi service, is going to be you can see this blue little floating light like that. And here's Sister Mesa, alright? She's going to give us the class. Simply say you want the training and then accept the contract. Right now we've got to go into a cave and find some missing text. Now keep in mind this is aluminum tier area. Enemies here are going to be a lot harder. So if you have a steel, if you have steel gear, you should be okay. I was killing these guys with steel gear, an MK2 shield, and the and that 10 damage blood drinking dagger that you get from the first crash you go to. So from Helios Gate, we need to go northwest all the way into the Odom, right, and find the missing pieces. Now, this is quite the trip on foot or with a speeder bike. It's much faster with the helicopter, but if you don't have the helicopter, then you don't have it. But you should have it by this point in the game, unless you're just rushing for this this class. Set up spawn points or have a vehicle spawn if you want to leave your vehicle out, right? And these are actually, why can't I fight? These are actually pretty strong enemies that use poison and different techniques like that. They're used to fighting. These enemies are definitely better at combat than some of the previous enemies you'll have encountered, so you'll need to be careful here, especially if you're under gear. Why can't I attack? Alright, so if you have an issue where you can't melee attack or use your skills anymore, you can log out and log back in, and that will fix the issue. It just somehow thought I was still in a sanctuary area, which I'm obviously am not. So we got to go through here and basically find the books. Shouldn't be too difficult to do. Alright, so basically in this location you'll be traveling up to get to your destination. There's a ramp there, you can grapple, whatever. You know how to get up in places by now. So alright, and here we are. Right there's the entrance. You can kill a couple of people, and then you come up here and you can take this and you can leave. Right, but if you have the gear and ability to do so, you could go ahead and continue searching through this place and see if there's anything good. Let's see. Right, the next text is going to be all the way over here, the Odom. So it's just going to be much easier and faster with a helicopter than trying to do this on a speeder bike. If you continue exploring through this place, you can find a treasure box with lots of goodies in it. All right. Of course, the blueprint you find may be different than the one I find, but and apparently there are traps on some of these that I bypass on my way up, but on my way back down I'm hitting them, so just keep that in mind. There may be traps. Always keep that in mind, and there may just always be traps, so usually they're not too dangerous. You can get around them pretty quick. Alright, so the next location, of course, is over this big rock, and you can kind of see the roof to it right here. Alright, it'll guide you to it, of course. That's the Kal Cavern is nearby, if it's not that exact cavern. Alright, and so the way in is across this broken ledge over there, and there's the doorway. So like I said, it's a lot easier with the helicopter, but if you have a suspender belt or the grapple hook, you can get in here. Alright, you can choose to fight your way up or not, that's up to you, and you can keep traveling up. You can grapple, of course, we can skip. I think we can skip over some of this by just grappling over. Yeah. Gotta be careful. So grapple over and climb. Oh, any enemies? No, I couldn't. Again, this should have some loot in it as well if you want to go get that. But here's our reward chest here. No, am I wrong? Oh, I'm wrong. It's here? Yeah, sorry. The reward chest is here. That's just another loot chest. Alright, so we'll grab our loot chest, but like I said, we can jump over that ledge and skip a lot of the level and come right to here. And we can take it. Alright, now we can just get out of here. Alright, and once you completed the quest, you got both those books and come to give it back to her. You're now a Bene Gesserit. You can now use the skills. Now, I will tell you, you can do this without a whole lot of great gear. You just need a shield and be able to run from enemies really well, and you can just charge and get those, grab those loot crates and charge out, right? Worst case is when you die after you get it or something, and then just spawn at your vehicle. But yeah. So next we're going to the Sword Master, which is actually really close. So we head north, pretty much straight north, and we'll go right to the Sword Master. Right, as you head north from that base up there, if you're on a speeder bike, you'd come down and around and go down to this path and right to this trade post. If you're on a flyer like mine, you just fly down to the trade post, of course. Okay, and like the soldier trainer that we found in the first trade post, we will find the sword master guy that will train us in swords with this over his head. I started the swords in my class, so he won't train me. But his name's Arno, and this is what it looks like. Now, you should get a quest from the sword master called Checking the Post, and you just need to go through and complete that. Alright, even though I already have the sword master class, I can go ahead and I can go into these locations and show you where the items are that you need. Just gonna help you find that a little easier. Alright, so keep in mind, we go from trade post over to this place. It's under the ornithopter. And then down to here. And then up to here. And then back to here. Alright, and I'll zoom out a little bit. And we'll see if we can get indicators. So about here. To here. To here. Alright, so this is called the canyon. This is a place you'll go to for one of your main story quests. Alright, as you can see, the entrance is in the canyon at the bottom. If you're wondering about my gear, this dagger does 30 damage, so it's not an amazing dagger. It's not really, it's kind of weak for this area, really. So you'll be fine. I was doing this with the 10 dagger the first time through, so. Alright, you go in and you head through, you end up, it's pretty much one path. There's only the people outside to fight, really. This is the box you need to get. And you can probably avoid the fight with them by just running in. Okay, so this is what you're gonna collect here. This box here. And then you can run around a corner and get some supplies. And head back up. If you're here for the main story or you just want more loot, of course you can keep going. But alright, so the next area, the wreck, it's a PvP zone, so you'll have to be careful here. If you don't want to PvP, you'll have to watch players, but yeah, so hopefully you can get in and get out without too much trouble. Anyway, so go in this PvP area, we'll go inside, we make our way to the middle, and then we have to go up a floor. Alright, I think there may be a little bit of radiation in here, but it should be okay. Shield on. Just don't stand in the fog, just in case. Not sure if it's just radiation or cold. You can loot a bunch of stuff in here. As you can see, there's several ways for players to come in here. So you may want to come through the side. Over here on the side of the ship instead of the front. Or escape out that way or something. Oh, yeah, that looks like a radiation zone over there. Okay, we can go in and out of radiation zones. You may want to drop some respawn points, but yeah. We can go in and out of radiation zones. We need to, without the radiation suit. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to find where we're going without the icon, but since the chest won't show up for me as a normal chest, we'll go through that door there, and we'll get the identification band. Okay. And head further in. Now we can get to the next door, and since there's not enemies here, there might be players in here already. Which is fine if they've already got the loot, they'll be wanting to run. Alright, so we keep pushing forward through these doors. There'll be another door like this. You go through into this room. Right, and in the back, if we take a right, this is the box right here. This is what it's going to look like. Right, this is where you get your quest. And then every 20 minutes, the loot will respawn in here from PvP. So, yeah, it looks like someone already looted what they wanted. The good stuff's gone. They just left the bad stuff. Alright, so this is the last location we need to go to, the Imperial Testing Station number 76. We run down in there, find our way down until we find a computer. And then at this computer, you'll have a quest. Your quest marker will tell you which computer it is. I'm not going to be able to see which computer it is, since I don't have the quest. Alright, there's nothing too complicated about the facility. It takes you back and forth through a few places. And, I mean, you just gotta backtrack, but I'm pretty sure this is the computer you gotta interact with once you're in here. It's pretty stands out. You'll have a quest indicator take you to it, so I can't say without that quest indicator for sure. But yeah, should be able to come back in here. It's pretty easy to get through this. This is just a lot of backtracking. You got to go forward, then backtrack, then forward, then backtrack. It's not nothing real special. Nothing that'll throw you off in here. You won't get lost if you're used to how these stations work. So you should be good. I will be making individual guides for each advanced class. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.